SCP-015 is called a pipe nightmare. The thumbnail for this one had pipes going in somebody's mouth and ears like hentai tentacles, okay? Not even gonna lie to y'all. It looked crazy. This is by Dr. Bob. Make sure to subscribe to him. Subscribe to me if you like reaction videos, and let's get into this one.
3 SCP Foundation agents stand before a large warehouse. Their mission is simple. Enter the building, find the observation unit that has gone missing inside, recover the data from it.
Observation unit.
It should be easy.
Like a little
but the
rover?
rundown structure they're standing in front of is no ordinary building. This is SCP-015. The leader of the group, a large, muscled man who goes by the codename of Agent 6, slides open a large door on the front of the warehouse, and immediately the whole group is struck by a sight that makes them reconsider just how easy this mission is going to be. In front of them is not a wide-open warehouse floor, but a cramped tunnel leading deeper into the building. The group has a job to do, though, and so the 3 head inside. Agent 2 first, followed by Agent Lon,
so the pipes
data
are gonna
specialist,
come alive?
and finally, Agent 6, the expedition leader in the rear.
Okay.
As they enter the narrow hall of pipes, the light from their flashlights plays off the floor, walls, and ceiling. Flashlights are one of the only items allowed in SCP-015, and they reveal what the researchers had told them in their
wood,
briefing.
glass, and bone.
Many of the pipes aren't made of standard materials, but instead are all sorts of strange substances like wood, glass, or even bone. The odd series of pipes have formed a twisting tunnel leading deeper into the warehouse. The group must be careful, since the floor is uneven, with pipes occasionally sticking up out of the floor like tree roots, ready to trip the unobservant. The 3 follow the corridors of pipes along the path that they each had to memorize.
They know what they
come to branching paths. Agent 2 speaks the series of turns they must take aloud. Left, left, right, left, right, right again, straight, right. And so on as they go deeper and deeper. They'd have to follow the directions exactly if they hope to reach the place where the modular robotic vehicle should be. Left, straight, straight again, right. Just a couple more turns and they'd reach the point where the MRV had sent its last signal before going offline. As they walk, though, they find that some of the passageways are getting more difficult to pass. The pipes have closed in at certain points, choking the already small tunnels down to mere crawlways. At one particularly narrow point, the group must get down on their bellies and pull themselves
but there's
along the
no
ground.
way I would get into this. I've seen cave videos.
Agent 6 suddenly calls out to the 2 agents ahead of him.
No way.
What is it? What's wrong? 2 asks. I'm stuck, comes the response from 6.
See?
Lon and 2 grab 6's arms and begin pulling. With a loud grunt from all of them, 6 finally comes free. His pant leg is shredded from the thorny wood that one of the pipes in the narrow tunnel is made from.
Ouch.
But he's free, and they can continue on.
Thank goodness, but how do you get back through?
After what seemed like an hour of walking, they finally find it. The modular robotic vehicle that had been sent in to investigate the current state of SCP-015.
Man, getting stuck in something like
There's something very strange about the robot's condition, though.
Not being able to move.
It looks like it has been speared right through its primary observation unit.
A
smooth black pipe that appeared to be made of dark fabric had pierced the vehicle right through its camera, but the lens didn't appear broken. Instead, it looked as if the pipe had somehow connected with it, docking inside the lens housing as if the 2 parts were made for each other. Other pipes had protruded from the floors and walls as well, snaking into open spots on the vehicle and lifting it up a foot off the ground.
That ain't good.
They looked over the robot, which was held helpless in the air, its wheels slowly spinning as its internal battery ran down. The agents walked around the MRV, examining it, looking confused about the fate that had befallen it. 6 suddenly broke the silence. Well, what are you waiting for? Lon wasn't sure what to do, though. As she got closer to the robot, she noticed that a foul-smelling substance was dripping from the pipe that had merged with the camera. Her job was to remove the data from the MRV. But they also had strict orders not to damage anything in SCP-015. So what was she to do about the robot? Wasn't it technically a part of SCP-015 now? She was worried that if she removed the data cards, then SCP-015 might... Well, she didn't know exactly. 6 didn't buy it, though. The researchers may have told them that 015 reacts.
You couldn't get out anyway
because you could see now that it's just a bunch of weird pipes. Maybe it grows or moves a bit, but how would it even know they were there? It hadn't shown any signs of sentience, let alone sapience. It wasn't going to hang around in here any longer than he had to, though. And if Lon wouldn't get on with it, then he would. 6 moves to the MRV and flips open the data cover on its side. More of the fetid liquid pours out. He ignores it. Lon and 2 both look at each other. Did the other hear that too? It sounded like
a hissing?
Steam venting from somewhere deep inside SCP-015. 6 doesn't seem to have heard it, and begins to remove the thin data cards from the MRV. With the data now recovered, he decides to see if he could free the vehicle from the pipes.
Oh no.
It wasn't necessarily a mission.
You should have just kept it.
But why let good Foundation property go to waste?
You should have just got out.
6 pulls first.
It lets you take.
Then the pipes that were running into it.
The data disk, man.
It's completely stuck, seemingly fused to the pipes. Come on, we've got the data. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
2 says. But 6 isn't done trying. He sets his flashlight down and uses both hands, pushing against the wall of pipes with his foot to gain additional leverage. When suddenly, there's a creaking sound.
Uh-huh.
I think I got it. But 6 was mistaken.
Nope.
It wasn't the sound of the MRV coming free that he had heard, but the sound of the floor underneath him giving way.
Yep.
6 falls into the floor up to his armpits, and the other 2 agents rush to help him. But as they do, they notice the glow and immediate burst of heat coming from the hole. Thickly flowing molten glass begins to fill the hole.
Liquid
and Agent
glass?
6 cries for help as they desperately try to pull him free. His cries turn into screams of desperation as they each grab an arm and, after a struggle, finally manage to free him and drag him from the hole.
Liquid glass.
6 is no longer screaming as he is pulled free, though. His eyes and mouth are locked wide in sheer panic.
Oh, I guess
Lon
so.
is now the one who starts to scream, as she realizes that they have pulled only the top half of Agent 6 from the hole above the fiery pit. The bottom half of his body is completely gone, burned away by the heat of the liquid glass. There's no time to be shocked, though.
No.
Because pipes begin to hiss and ping all around them. A wooden pipe above 2 and Lon suddenly bursts, sending a cloud of dust flying into their faces. It's powdered glass, and it starts to pour out of the broken pipe, covering what's left of 6 completely. 2 spits out a thick stream of blood, his mouth shredded from the glass particles. Lon desperately tries not to rub them deeper into the cuts in her eyes. They both know they can't stay here, though.
Oh my God.
The
this
pipes
is
are deafening
horrible,
as they move
man.
as quickly as they can back the way they came. It sounds like a train is barreling through the building. They're surrounded by chaos. Boiling chemicals pour out of one pipe. Tiny slicing rose thorns spray out of another. They come to a crawlway that's just a couple feet wide, but it's their only way forward, and they have no choice but to enter.
That's where Agent 6 got
dives
stuck.
in and starts crawling. Lon is hesitant, but a blast of steam from a pipe near her head convinces her she has no choice.
Yeah.
And she follows after him.
Gosh.
2 wriggles through the narrow passage and is surrounded by more sounds of pipes creaking all around him. Each one seems like it might burst and pour who knows what deadly substance onto him.
You better go.
But he has to suppress his fear and keep moving forward. Finally, he emerges into a wider hallway. He turns and looks back at the hole. Lon should have been right behind him. There's no sign of her. He sticks his head back in and calls for her. There's no response, but he can hear her still in there, somewhere in the dark, struggling. He has to help her.
Poor thing.
2 gets back into the passage and starts crawling. She couldn't have been that far behind him, probably just around the next turn. But as he crawls around the bend, there's nothing there. Just another wall of pipes.
Dang, she's gone.
The passage has been sealed up. It's a dead end.
No good.
He presses his ear to the wall and can hear Lon screaming on the other side.
Oh no.
He hits his flashlight against the pipes in anger. The pipe shakes for a moment, then bursts,
better not.
spraying out a black liquid that covers his hand. It's some kind of corrosive acid, and he screams as it burns through his gloves to the flesh beneath. He quickly crawls backwards out of the narrow tunnel and emerges back out into the wider passage. 2 cradles his hand, trying not to look at the exposed bone. I'm sorry, he cries as he runs through the tunnel of pipes towards what he hopes is the exit. I'll get help.
Yeah, but
I'll come back,
you know,
I swear.
all the left, right, left,
Lon
left,
can't
straight,
hear his
right,
promises,
straight,
though.
left.
She heard what she thought was
no
a
way.
pipe burst followed
Y'all
by 2's
done?
cries, but she doesn't know now if he's dead or alive. She decides she has no choice but to go back the way she came. Maybe there's another way out. But after moving just a few inches, her feet touch a solid wall. She's trapped in a space no bigger than a coffin.
Oh my God.
She feels around, but there's nothing here in the dark.
That's so
nothing
horrible,
at all.
dude.
Just smooth, fuzzy, warm pipes.
Stop, Dr. Bob. You're
There
making
is
me so
something,
uncomfortable.
A gap in the ceiling, but it's just the open end of
Is
another
this
pipe.
claustrophobia,
And now,
guys? Is this
there's
what it's
something dripping
like?
out of it. Droplets of whatever the substance is land on her face, and then a full stream of liquid pours out onto her. She coughs as it gets into her mouth, but then realizes that it's sweet. It's honey? At least it wasn't molten glass or deadly acid. Maybe she could even survive for a time on the liquid until another expedition team came to rescue her. Her brief moment of hope is cut short.
Gonna fill up.
She realizes that the pipe isn't stopping. and that she's already lying in an inch-deep pool.
She's gonna drown in honey.
Lon beats on the walls and ceiling as the honey continues to rise around her. And
well,
screams for help.
I think I'd rather drown.
With her fingers, but it's no use.
I think I'd rather drown than just die of starvation
continues to rise
and
around
panic.
her, and all she can do is scream and claw at the pipes that have created her tomb. She presses her lips to the ceiling in an attempt to gain one last breath before the honey completely fills the space.
God.
Her final choking gasps are sickly and sweet as the honey fills her lungs.
This is so
Agent
terrible.
2 keeps running through the tunnel of pipes. His hand no longer hurts, at least, either from the shock or from the fact that all the nerve endings have been burned away. The horrible sounds coming from the pipes seem to have stopped too. Maybe he really would make it out of this alive. Lon might have found another way out too.
No.
There's no telling how many routes through this maze of pipes exist.
Yeah, honey got honey.
Exit the building to find her outside waiting for him. Poor Agent 6, though. Never had a chance after opening that cover on the MRV.
You know,
his thoughts
Six
are
did it
abruptly
all.
interrupted, though, when
It
his
was
foot
all
catches
Six's
on
fault.
an unseen pipe and he falls forward onto the floor. Or rather, he should have fallen on the floor. Instead, a pit opens up in the ground, leading to a steep, sloping floor of pipes. He screams and tries to stop himself, but the slick liquid covering everything makes it impossible for him to slow his descent, and he begins to slide down the pipes. His dimming flashlight shows what seems to be an endless tunnel of pipes stretching down into the dark.
Wherever you get to, you're gonna hit hard,
this way and that, slamming him into the walls on either side, tumbling him head over feet. And the descent never seemed to end. He screamed until his voice went hoarse, then gave out entirely. He didn't have any way to mark the passage of time, other than when his flashlight finally started to flicker and then dim, before finally dying. He slid down the endless tunnel of pipes for what felt like days in the darkness, far deeper than they physically should have been able to go. When the friction of the pipes began to tear his skin away, it was almost welcome. At least there would finally be an end. Following the loss of the SCP-015 recovery team, the data on the modular robotic vehicle was deemed non-vital, and no further expeditions were authorized in order to try and recover it.
I guess
SCP-015 is a mass of pipes, vents, boilers, and other various plumbing apparatuses that have completely filled an otherwise nondescript warehouse located in a major American city. Anytime the warehouse is not being directly observed, the pipes will begin to grow, filling nearly all of the available space in the building, but also trying to connect to other nearby structures through the sewer and other subterranean infrastructure systems. The current best estimate of Foundation researchers is that the building contains over 190 kilometers of pipes, which range from just 2.5 centimeters to over 1 meter in diameter. While some of these pipes will look new, others have the appearance of being rusted or damaged, with many showing signs of leaking. The pipes are made of a strange assortment of materials as well, including bone, wood, steel, pressed ash, human flesh, glass, and granite. Oddly, no pipes composed of lead, PVC plastic, copper, or any other material one would normally expect to be used for the production of pipes have been found. But by far the strangest anomalous quality of SCP-015 is that it appears to react to aggressors. Should the building detect that the personnel inside of it are carrying tools, or if they make any attempt to either damage or repair any of its pipes, they will trigger an immediate reaction. Pipes near the offending subject will often burst, spraying them with a variety of liquids that have included oil, mercury, rats, a species of insect not yet identified, ground glass, seawater, entrails, and molten iron.
Entrails?
More and more pipes will continue to burst around the subject until they either retreat from SCP-015 or are killed. SCP-015 was discovered by the Foundation after reports that pipes emanating from a warehouse had mysteriously started to connect to multiple other nearby structures, with no obvious answer for how or why they had suddenly begun emerging from the structure.
Anomalous stuff.
The pipes were eventually able to be cut back and are now solely within the warehouse once again, but the human cost of containing SCP-015 has been high. And so far, 11 SCP personnel have been killed in their interactions with the anomaly, and an additional 20 are still missing. All of the missing are presumed to also be dead, so there have been reports of banging and screaming coming from within the building that may indicate they are still alive in some form. SCP-015 has been classified as Euclid, and because the building itself is impossible to move, it has been effectively contained on site. The Foundation maintains a gap of at least 2 meters around the warehouse, and no structures are allowed to be built that make contact with the building's outer walls.
So
should any protrusions from SCP-015 be detected, the pipes are to be immediately capped and sealed. Internal exploration of SCP-015 is permitted with approval from senior staff, But following numerous losses
wouldn't want
within the
to.
site, expedition teams must consist of 3
Curiosity
members, all
killed
of
the
whom
cat.
are equipped with
And
safety lines
apparently
and
the
GPS
researchers
tracking.
too.
The teams are not allowed to bring any hand or power tools within the building, nor are they to attempt any repairs or maintenance of any kind while inside. There's no need to enforce these rules, though, seeing as SCP-015 appears more than happy to terminate the offenders itself.
Yeah,
The SCP Foundation contains many anomalous locations, though SCP-015 may just be one of the strangest. But decide for yourself by comparing it to SCP-024, another abandoned building with secrets of its own to be found inside. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single anomaly.
Thanks, Dr. Bob. This one was really good, man. I enjoyed this one immensely. I hope you guys did too. Guys, make sure to subscribe to Dr. Bob. Subscribe to me if you like reaction videos too. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off. We'll see you next time.